Hello. In today's lesson, we will be looking at what exactly does the treble clef tell us about the music. The treble clef that we see here in the music staff has not always looked like this. In fact, the treble clef used to look like the letter G, and over time evolved to look more fancy as we see it today. The reason that it is specifically called the G clef was because it tells us where the note G is. In fact, it tells us where two G's are. Let's come back to that in just a moment. Looking at the lines and spaces of the treble clef, each will be associated with a letter name. We can use some mnemonic devices to remember these names. Let's start with the lines. To learn the names of the lines, just remember the phrase, every good burger deserves fries. The first letter of each of those words, E, G, B, D, and F, is the name of that line. Any note that is in that line will be that letter name. The spaces of the treble clef, starting from the bottom up, spell the word face. Remember that space and face rhyme. Looking at the letters of the lines and spaces, we can also see that the letters move in alphabetical order, following the music alphabet, which goes from A to G. Starting at the bottom, we have E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and F. Remember how I said earlier that the treble clef tells us where the note G is? Well, look at the swirl of the treble clef. It circles the second line, which, if we look, is the letter G. I did mention that it tells us where two G's are located. There is another swirl at the very top of the staff that circles the space above the top line F. If we follow our alphabet rule, the next letter after F would be G. So the treble clef is also known as the G clef and tells us that G exists in the second line and directly above the staff. From there, we can use our mnemonic devices, or the alphabet, to figure out the rest. Thanks for watching.